Good day, traders. Today we will take a bit of a different approach due to some unforeseen circumstances and also due to the fact that I just welcomed my daughter into the world very recently. I will take a little bit of a different approach to my analysis this week, and what I'll be doing is be doing a raw live analysis for you guys, focusing on just a few markets that do look promising. Of course, I feel it's worth starting with Bitcoin, and just looking at the chart currently, we can see that Bitcoin has formed, at least over the last what would we say, it's about last 2 weeks, has formed this symmetrical triangle with a possible break happening currently, meaning there's a good chance that we'll see for this week a move towards about 39,000, perhaps. That's the weekly R2 pivot, with support sitting at, I'd say, around about our weekly S1 pivot, as that is where we have previously found some support. So what I'll be doing is I'll be just adjusting these levels so you guys can see what that range would be. Actually, what I'll do is I'm going to say if we break the green range, the target area will be the blue range, and that's how I usually do it, as you guys know. And of course, if we do break that orange range, then a move lower can be expected probably back to around there, where it will meet up to that yearly 365-day simple moving average. So in terms of resistance, I would say our resistance is sitting back at the top of that range, with our support still being back in that range where we have seen various tests of price in the past. Just having a look at gold as well. Gold is still struggling to get back above that trading range that we've also identified previously. The support is still holding at 1,767, and as soon as we break that daily 100 moving average, I suspect we will see a move outside of this range and a break from the top of that range, currently at about 1,797, and that could potentially take us back to that 200 daily moving average. And I'll be placing that at our weekly R2 pivot. So that's at 1,822. And then in terms of the lower end of this range, support remains at the bottom end of that channel, or that trading range. That's at 1,766. And a break above that will possibly see a test of that support dynamic diagonal support at about 1745 to 1746. Having a look at our indices quickly, let's just have a quick scan and look at the DAX, see if there's anything to be excited about. We can see that the DAX also still trading in that range, still respecting the 50 daily moving average. In fact, sorry, I've mentioned previously that green line is not the 50 but the 40 moving average. I actually do prefer to use the 40 moving average above the 50 moving average. So support does remain on that 50 moving average, so perhaps somewhere between our weekly pivot and S1 pivots. I'll say 15,500 and 40 with a break below that, looking for support. Likely there is somewhere between the S2 and S3 pivot in that support zone, close to 15 to 50. A break back above that previous close on the 29th of June could potentially see a test of that dynamic upper channel, and currently that would be sitting somewhere between the R3 and R2 pivot at about 16,000. Having a look at the Dow also still trading within this very well defined range. As we've mentioned previously, that daily 100 SMA has held up quite well, currently testing the top of that range. The top of that range sitting and remaining at 34,750. A break above that, I suspect, could take us to the weekly R3, making new all-time highs in the process. And of course, support, I'd say that to be sitting at our weekly S1, also coinciding with that 40 SMA. And also previous resistance becoming support. That's at 34,324, and a break below that Possibly we'll be testing that daily 100 SMA again in the vicinity of our weekly S2 at 33,870. Looking at the NASDAQ is still trending very strongly, also making new all-time highs in the process. Also still respecting this diagonal trend line. Support currently sitting right on top of that trend line on our weekly S1, 14,460. A break below that. Could see price move lower back into that area of support. So let's make that the orange one. So that would be the level to watch out for downside move, and the support level sitting at our weekly is 14,070, with the top of that range just being a move to the new all-time highs, just being the high of that candle, and resistance being at our yearly R1 pivot at 14. Oh, actually, you can just say 15,000. That would be the psychological level to watch for the NASDAQ. Having a look at our Forex pairs, let's see if there's something of interest here. We can see that the USDJPY has broken out of that symmetrical triangle pattern that we've also identified previously. It has found some resistance from this zone starting at 111.67. If it does remain within this channel, and I'd actually like to redraw this channel just to the latest price action candle shadows, and that will give us a channel somewhere in the vicinity of our weekly pivot, it does seem. So a move below that could see a pullback towards that initial breakout. Let's put that at our weekly S1 pivot and in the vicinity of 110.402. Of course, if we can sorry, I'm using the wrong colors here. Let's just change that quickly. That, so we can have a better idea of what our range as well as our breakout levels are. So the top of that range, of course, would be our breakout level, and new move to highs would be probably close to our weekly R2, just based on that top new channel that it's creating up there. So we can draw that in quickly, and just scanning, having a look at our other markets. The USDCAD still rejecting that channel that I've also previously shown you guys. Once again rejecting the daily 100 SMA. So I'm expecting a move lower at least. And let's just have a look at that monthly pivots. So I just want to remove those future. I think that's the future monthly pivots. That's not needed. So I suspect a move probably close to our weekly S3, monthly S1. I suspect a move back to this level at the 1.210 for USDCAD. And previously we looked at the GBPUSD, and I think what we were looking at was, if I remember correctly, we were looking at the rejection of that daily 100 SMA. And we can see that price has now found support at the same zone that it did previously. And if price can hold at this level, it's very likely that we can once again see a move back towards that monthly pivot, coinciding with the daily 100 SMA. And of course, a break lower would perhaps give us that move to the lower end of that support zone, close to our monthly S1 and daily 200 SMA, currently sitting at about 1.365. And in terms of a bullish break above the monthly pivot, which I doubt will happen this week, but that could give us a move higher towards the monthly R1 at 1.412. And I'd just like to conclude by looking at the USDZAR for all our South African traders, all the guys looking to trade the US dollar to the South African rand. I've identified what appears to be an inverted head and shoulders pattern. A price action does appear to be rejecting that daily 100 SMA currently, but that actually just means that if it can overcome that level once again, it's a very good and high probability chance for this move to play out to the upside. And just projecting our target to the upside from that head to the shoulder neckline, that would give us a target somewhere in the vicinity of that previous highs over there. So that's at 1554, so we can actually just make that 1550. So should we see the price move back above that neckline level at 1442, I'm pretty sure we'll see a slow and steady move towards that 1550 level. In terms of a pullback, there is the monthly pivot at 14 rands to the dollar. That it would be a psychological level, so there's a chance that the price might pull back to that level. If it does fail and get rejected on that lower and move even lower, I suspect we'll see price moving back into this level of support near our monthly S1 at 1361. Well, that concludes our technical overview for the week. If there's anything specific you'd like to see, please send us an email or leave us a comment below. Until next time, this is John Jacobs for RMDTRADER. Remember, trade smart and trade successful.